Prime Minister's Kanyakumari visit. He's wrapped up his meditation process. He was meditating at that Rock Memorial for the past 48 hours, in fact, and he will now be going to the Tiruvallur statue. So, of course, this is part of the Prime Minister's post-campaign spiritual trip to Kanyakumari. A lot of interesting messaging there as well. The south of India certainly has been a big focus of the BJP and the Prime Minister this time around. With the Prime Minister holding multiple rallies and roadshows there as well. And now, even after the campaign, the Prime Minister continues to focus on the south of India. My colleague Sam Daniel is live with us. He is in Kanyakumari, in fact. Sam, so the Prime Minister has wrapped up his meditation. What's next?
Well, as we speak now, Vedant, Prime Minister Modi has taken a ferry and reached the statue, the giant statue of Tamil ancient poet Thiruvalluvar to pay his tributes. It's again another iconic structure next to the Vivekananda Rock Memorial where he had the 45-hour-long meditation. As we speak, he is right under the pedestal of the Thiruvalluvar statue paying his tributes, and he may spend around 10 minutes there and then take the ferry to come to the jetty, and then he would take the chopper to fly back to Thiruvananthapuram from where he would get back to Delhi. It's been a 45-hour-long meditation at the Vivekananda Rock Memorial in Kanyakumari, which has a rich cultural and geographical significance. As we speak, you could see Modi paying his tributes at the Thiruvalluvar statue behind me, and culturally, this is the same spot from where Swami Vivekananda in the year 1892 had undertaken a long meditation for a vision for a new India. That's the belief, and Modi has undertaken this meditation exactly at the same spot. And geographically speaking, Kanyakumari happens to be the confluence of the three oceans around India: the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal. And the BJP says Modi's meditation was all about bringing a larger unity across the country. And of course, this had become also controversial because this started on the day the campaign ended for the 7th and the final phase of elections and went into the no campaign day, that was yesterday, and continued today during the polls as part of the 7th phase, including Varanasi, where Prime Minister Modi is contesting from. The ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu had called this as a gimmick, and the CPM in Tamil Nadu had given a written complaint to the Election Commission asking for a direction to ask the media, both the mainstream and social media, to not telecast this event live, saying this could be used as a propaganda material. But at the end of the third day, the Election Commission neither did it clarify nor did it intervene. And Modi has concluded his 45-hour-long meditation. And the CPM said this defeats the purpose of no campaign day, defeats the idea of fair play and level playing field, as this would be used as a propaganda material giving undue advantage for the BJP.
Right.
And this meditation is nothing but a tacit way to influence voters who would vote today. But the BJP had denied these allegations, saying that the Prime Minister did not violate the Model Code of Conduct in any way, in either letter or spirit, saying he never campaigned, never sought votes, but he came here in his personal capacity to spend time meditating for the good of the country, as the BJP claims. And they called the allegations by the opposition as mere politics. The entire area has come under huge security blanket, 3,500 police personnel deployed, a score of Coast Guard and naval vessels and boats guarding the Prime Minister. Besides, fishermen have been asked not to venture into the sea over the last couple of days, and also restrictions for tourists visiting both the Vivekananda Rock Memorial and the other one which is under renovation. Of course, they let them during, they gave them some breaks to visit this area, but largely it has come under a restricted zone.
And as you were reporting, Sam, in fact, this entire visit has also been, a contentious one, with the opposition saying that this is, nothing but propaganda. In fact, the CPM also wrote to the Election Commission. But looking at the larger messaging by the Prime Minister as well, the south of India has been a big focus of the BJP this time around. And as you said, the bid is to send out a message of national integration. How important is it as far as the BJP's southern bid is concerned this time around?
Well, the BJP has been finding southern part of India, except Karnataka, to be a tough nut to crack in terms of electoral victories. They could not win even a single seat in the last Lok Sabha elections. They tried to win elections win the assembly elections. They won 4 seats in alliance with the AIADMK, but otherwise, on their own merit, the southern states, particularly Tamil Nadu, has been a difficult thing for them. And the Prime Minister and the Saffron Party have been focusing strongly on states like Tamil Nadu. He campaigned at least a dozen times ahead of the Tamil Nadu Lok Sabha elections. And this is seen as yet another symbolism, yet another message by Prime Minister Modi that he's serious about expanding his party's footprint in Tamil Nadu, expanding the party's footprint in southern India. Would this really help? That's something we'll have to wait for the results. But in terms of the long-term goals, many look at this as the party eyeing the 2026 assembly elections as well in Tamil Nadu. So that's the larger messaging, the symbolism behind this kind of strong focus in states like Tamil Nadu. Will it work, especially with regard to his campaign ahead of the elections? That's something we'll have to wait for a few more days. But many look at this as yet another attempt to get their party dearer to people in Tamil Nadu, in a state where the Dravidian parties, the DMK and the AIADMK, largely have been dominating over the last several decades.
Right, Sam, thanks very much for joining us with that. In fact, as Sam is pointing out, the Prime Minister there, he's wrapped up his meditation exercise. It went on for about 48 hours and he will now be going to the Tiruvallur statue. There's a lot of significance, a lot of interesting messaging, optics there as well. Though, of course, campaigning has ended, of course, and the polls also about to end in the next 3 hours. So it's really, as the opposition says, this could be seen as some sort of a propaganda by the BJP and the Prime Minister, because polling, of course, is still underway. Crucial constituencies across states, across UP, Bengal, Odisha, of course, his own constituency going to polls today. Varanasi is voting today. So in that context, in that backdrop, it's very interesting messaging there. The opposition says it's propaganda. The Election Commission has not said anything so far on this, though, of course, the CPM, the left in Tamil Nadu, had, of course, reached out to the Election Commission. In fact, these are live pictures, I think, that we are getting from Kanyakumari. There you can see the Prime Minister. In fact, the Prime Minister is at the Tiruvallur statue, which has, of course, a lot of symbolism attached to it. My colleague Sam Daniel, I believe, continues to be with us. Sam, so there's a lot of symbolism behind this entire exercise, behind this entire spiritual trip. And if you see the past 1 year, whether it was a Tamil Samagam or, the Sengol, there's a lot of symbolism that the Prime Minister has invoked, sort of, in a sense, cashing in on these larger tropes which concern the south of India.
That's right. It began with the installation of Sengol in the new parliament, which originally was made and gifted from Tamil Nadu to the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and was kept in a museum in Uttar Pradesh for several decades. And that was shifted to the new parliament, and the inauguration of the parliament also saw a special spiritual importance attached to it, as it was installed in a very prominent place behind the speaker's chair in the new parliament. And at that time too, the BJP had reached out to Tamils, how the Prime Minister had made it a point to make sure this particular gift of the Sengol was given due recognition and due importance in the new parliament. And this is again seen as a continuation of that kind of an outreach by the Prime Minister. But would all these really help the BJP win elections, get electoral dividends, particularly either in the recently held Lok Sabha elections or in the upcoming assembly elections two years later? That's something we'll have to wait and watch. But certainly the BJP makes it a point to do all these things to make sure their party would be able to expand their footprint, which at the moment has less than 3% vote share in this Dravidian heartland. In fact, in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections and in the 2021 Assembly elections, the Saffron Party had fought in alliance with the AIADMK. But recently, the AIADMK snapped ties with the BJP after it had lost both elections. It had fought in alliance with the Saffron Party, and in this concluded elections, both the AIADMK and the BJP are fighting it alone, and it will be interesting to see the kind of efforts both the Prime Minister had made in terms of his extensive campaign in Tamil Nadu and the way the party had promoted their BJP Tamil Nadu chief Annamalai, whether his Padayatra across the state would really help the party win some seats, or would it help them to expand in terms of widening their vote share. That's something we'll have to wait and watch. But the BJP is relentlessly trying its best to make itself a fable in a state where it has very little presence.
Sam, as we stay on these pictures of the Prime Minister going to the Tiruvallur statue, what is the significance of this particular statue? Because we know that, that particular rock memorial where he was meditating at for the past 48 hours, that had its own significance. Vivekananda also sort of meditated at the same spot. Okay, these are live pictures coming in. The Prime Minister going towards the Tiruvallur statue there. So go ahead, Sam, and tell us the significance of this. Its historic significance and, it's the larger context in which the Prime Minister has decided to now go to the Tiruvallur statue.
Okay, as we speak, the boat has just moved, the ferry, which means the Prime Minister has paid his tributes at the Tiruvallur statue and is now on his way in the ferry to the jetty to get back. Yes, Thirukkural, written by poet Tiruvallur, is being seen as a couplet book with universal appeal. It's being seen as the state book of Tamil Nadu, and in fact there are demands to make this as the national book. That's the kind of relevance this couplets book of Thirukkural has. And it has 133 chapters, and this particular iconic statue of poet Saint Tiruvallur is also 133 foot high. It was built by the earlier DMK government when Karunanidhi was the chief minister. And next to Bible, Thirukkural has been translated in most number of languages globally. That's the speciality of this particular booklet, book of couplets, and it breaks the barriers of caste, creed, and it also its lessons are universal. That's why it's so close to the hearts of people in Tamil Nadu, and that's why Tiruvallur is held in such high esteem. And in fact, internationally, wherever Prime Minister Modi goes, including the United Nations, he often mentions or reads one or two couplets from Thirukkural and also mentions Tiruvallur by name. And that's the kind of affinity he has towards this particular poet. And this particular visit is again seen in that context that he doesn't want to miss a chance to go and pay his tributes after his 45-hour-long meditation. In a few minutes, we should be seeing Modi arriving at the jetty here to take a chopper to Thiruvananthapuram, from where he would fly to Delhi. And this would happen. This happens even as the 7th phase of polls, the final phase, is underway, including polls for Varanasi, where Prime Minister Modi is the candidate himself.
And as you said, Sam, earlier as well, it's interesting that the Prime Minister has chosen, Kanyakumari for his post-campaign breather or his post-campaign spiritual trip. But as we count down also to the exit polls that we, of course, will be doing at 6 o'clock, the poll of polls, do you see the Prime Minister's personal sort of effort in Tamil Nadu and other states of the south, but particularly Tamil Nadu? Do you see that yielding some sort of political dividends, as somebody who's reported from the ground on this?
Well, that's what the BJP and in particular Prime Minister Modi is aiming at and striving for. But for people who have been following politics in Tamil Nadu, the national parties here have a very negligible role or negligible presence, be it the BJP, which is trying hard now, or the Congress, which in the 60s had ruled Tamil Nadu, and later it had become a kind of a bridesmaid, depending on either one of the Dravidian arch rivals here to win seats here. So while the BJP in particular, Modi is trying hard, going by the past, it's only alliance arithmetic that works. But the BJP may be working on a long-term goal to incrementally increase their vote share and to be able to grow in strength to such level at some point in time, maybe a decade later, to be able to turn into a significant force to reckon with in the state. But at the moment, these could be symbolism, but this may not be contributing for the party's instant growth in terms of winning seats now. One acid test would be the results for the just held Lok Sabha elections, particularly to watch out for the results of the BJP, how it has performed. Well, the BJP is supremely confident that they'll be able to win many seats. We'll have to see what actually happens on the ground, whether they'll be able to win any seats, or would their vote share increase considerably, and then that will be a kind of an indication for the BJP to know where it stands now and what it requires to grow in a state like Tamil Nadu.
All right, Sam, thanks very much for joining us with that. The Prime Minister there offering his prayers at the Tiruvallur statue, which, as Sam explained, is extremely significant, both in the historical context as well as in this larger civilizational project of the BJP. In fact, Sam, come in on this because as top BJP leaders, ministers have pointed out that, perhaps it's not just something that we should look at in the shorter electoral context, but this is part of what the BJP calls its civilizational project, which is why the BJP is picking and the Prime Minister is picking on these things, whether it was a Sengol as we discussed, then of course the Tamil Samagam. In fact, that happened in his own constituency in Varanasi, whether it's the Prime Minister, that artificial intelligence app translating the Prime Minister's speech into Tamil. So all of these tropes, as I said, all of these, campaign points that the Prime Minister is picking on, this is perhaps the part of the larger civilizational project as the BJP calls it.
Yes, that's what the BJP is hoping, that it would work in its favor in a state like Tamil Nadu. But Tamil Nadu, known for its Dravidian rationalistic approach over the last several decades, particularly the Hindutva agenda of the BJP, that's something largely unacceptable to people in Tamil Nadu largely, and that's why for a long time the BJP has not been really able to grow in a state continuing their kind of politics and agenda. But yes, now they're trying different things. For example, the BJP is also trying to woo late leaders like M.G. Ramachandran and Jayalalitha, who commanded a huge following. They know more, and they think in their absence the AIADMK has turned a bit weaker, and they'll be able to invoking their names as well. They're trying several strategies. One of that is this kind of a civilizational one. Sengol is another one. Visiting this kind of a memorial and having a meditation is another approach. Also having the talks with the Chinese premier at Mahabalipuram is another way. So the BJP tries different strategies, and still it's finding hard to really break the tough nut in Tamil Nadu. But as you said, it's a long-term strategy they're working at. At the moment, they're aiming at the 2026 assembly elections. After seeing the kind of results, their campaign and their strategy would help them, would bring them in the results expected in a few more days.
Absolutely, and as Sam is reporting there, this is the BJP's larger civilizational project, as the Prime Minister has also indicated multiple times in his campaign rallies, in his interviews as well, that he's looking ahead to 2047. He's looking ahead to what is the BJP's Viksit Bharat bid. But Sam, just quickly, sort of wrap it up for us as well. How the politics over this has played out, particularly in the past 2 days, with the left writing to the Election Commission, the opposition, top opposition leaders, in fact, calling this propaganda, saying that this is some sort of a violation of the Model Code of Conduct, because polling is still underway. Let's not forget that, and it's important to put that in context as well as we stay on these live pictures, that polling is underway. In fact, in the Prime Minister's own constituency, polling is underway. So Sam, that politics also cannot be completely divorced from these pictures that we are showing on our screens right now.
It's very true, because the opposition has been targeting the Prime Minister, that a person in a stature like Prime Minister Modi, holding a responsible office, should not be violating the Model Code of Conduct, may not be in letter but in spirit, because the Model Code of Conduct makes it mandatory to have no kind of campaign, particularly a day before the elections are due, and the campaign would start the day before that. But this particular meditation began when the campaign ended. It went into the day of no campaign day, and also now it continues when the polling is still underway. The ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu calls this a gimmick. The CPM in Tamil Nadu had taken strong exception, given a written complaint to the Chief Election Commissioner saying this is in violation of the MCC, and it sought for a direction to the media that nobody should cover it live, as this could become a propaganda material for the BJP, giving them undue advantage when other parties would be on a no campaign mode. And they also said this defeats the idea of level playing field and fair play, besides defeating the concept of the no campaign day that was yesterday. But the Election Commission, many would say, many are critical about it, saying that it has not clarified nor it has intervened, and this issue has become yet another major criticism against the Election Commission, which faced a whole lot of criticism on other fronts this time. And Tamil actor Prakash Raj calls this as nothing but a film shooting by the Prime Minister. But the BJP has denied these allegations, saying that Modi did not come here in his personal capacity, did not come here in his official capacity, but in his personal capacity to do meditation. And the opposition is politicizing this. He never sought votes, he never campaigned, and in that sense, the BJP argues that there was no violation of any kind of the Model Code of Conduct. So this is a larger political battle, but ironically, the Election Commission has been quiet on this, neither clarifying nor intervening in this. We'll have to see whether it would comment after, now that the meditation is over. So that's a larger political context in which the opposition is targeting. They say they don't have any issue with Modi having his meditation, but their issue is he shouldn't have had it when there was a no campaign day, when the polling is still underway. Had he done that tomorrow, after the election process is completely over, nobody would have raised this objection. That's what they say. So they say it doesn't augur well for a person like Modi to be interpreting law this way, but in their view, blatantly violating the Model Code of Conduct.
Absolutely. So that politics over that playing out as well.
I think
as we stay on these live pictures, the Prime Minister has wrapped up his meditation exercise. He was meditating at that iconic Rock Memorial in Kanyakumari for the past 48 hours, and he's now going to the Tiruvallur statue. In fact, he's offered prayers already at that Tiruvallur statue, and these are deferred pictures that we are showing you. In fact, these are live pictures that are coming in. The kind of preparations there, as well as Sam was mentioning, the Coast Guard stationed there constantly. So, Sam, just looking at the logistical aspect of it as well, since as we sort of decode the Prime Minister's Kanyakumari visit, the kind of preparations that had to be made for this visit also, absolutely mammoth there, in the sense that the Prime Minister meditated there for 2 hours, the kind of security that had to be kept in mind. Then, of course, the execution of this exercise was a mammoth task as well.
It was a nightmare for security agencies. Now we can confirm Prime Minister Modi has taken his car to head to the helipad to return to Thiruvananthapuram first, and then to fly from there to Delhi. That's right, it was a huge challenge for the Tamil Nadu police, particularly because the notice was very short. They had a very little time to make the preparations. 3,500 police personnel were deployed, and again, scores of Coast Guard ships, naval ships, and dozens of boats guarding the Prime Minister around this landmark island-like memorial. And the fishermen were asked not to venture into the sea because, again, because of the security involved in the Prime Minister's stay here. And the tourists, this is peak summer vacation season, and you have hundreds of tourists coming here every day. And they were also restricted from visiting the Vivekananda Rock Memorial. Of course, yesterday they gave them a window of opportunity to take the ferry for some time, but largely these were out of bounds, particularly today as well. But the police say they did an amazing job. It was a huge challenge, but they were able to do it in a short term. They had to screen all the residents and all the hotels in this busy town. And besides deploying police personnel in all the hundreds of houses and commercial establishments that dot the seashore here. But I think now everything has ended peacefully. There was not even a single incident in terms of a security threat or something. But even the media was put under severe restriction, I should add. For instance, very many times we were not allowed to have this iconic backdrop during our live reports. Even now, the police tried to stop us as we tried to cover it live. They barged into hotel rooms to check whether we are having any weapons. That's the kind of preparations, that's the kind of nightmare some of us had to go through.
Absolutely.
But I think it's all part of the VVIP security.
Yes.
And understandable. But yes, as we speak, Prime Minister Modi has concluded his 45-hour-long marathon meditation. You see that Coast Guard vessel right behind the statue which was guarding. You see a chopper again flying in the sky, and it was a nightmare, yes, but I think now it has come to a kind of grand finale, but several tough questions being asked. Whether the Prime Minister should have waited, is it right?
So as you said, Sam,
a
security nightmare certainly, and it was part of the protocol, but that 45-hour-long meditation exercise is now complete. Thanks very much, Sam, for decoding all the aspects of the Prime Minister's Kanyakumari visit, which is now come to an end. With that, we'll take a short break now. There's more news on the other side.